If you're a CBD, hemp, or cannabis company that's already doing pretty well in revenue, whether that's $20,000 plus per month or maybe $50,000 plus per month, then this video is for you. This is exactly how we took one of our clients from $50,000 per month to $173,000 per month, and exactly how you can do it as well. I'm going to be running over their back end, showing you those exact results and going over their exact strategy that helped them get to that point so that you can apply it yourself. And this is without ads. So you will definitely want to watch until the end of this video. I'm not going to try sell you anything. This is strictly a case study video. And then I would recommend that you go ahead, take some notes and send this over to your team, because these are things that you can actionably implement without needing to worry about ads, and with it being super effective, even if you think that you guys are doing well enough. This is specifically focused on email marketing. And I recommend again that you just pay attention to this, because if you already have email marketing in place, or you are thinking about having email marketing, this is still relevant to you. Because if you do have email marketing in place, I can guarantee that you're probably not getting as much as you can out of it. So without further ado, I'm going to jump into the video. So as I said, what I'm going to be going over is exactly how to make $100,000 plus per month as a hemp company without ads. And this is relevant for even if you are doing 100,000 plus, then this is worth the watch, because you can probably scale even more than that. So what I'm going to be showing you is the exact case study on how we took this company to $173,000 per month with just email marketing, where they were previously doing only about $53,000 per month, if not less. So with that being said, just to jump into things, this is exactly what I'm going to cover in the video so that you know whether it applies to you, and I'm sure that it will. So first of all, I'm going to be going over their challenges and common challenges in the industry that you're probably facing, their current situation versus their goal, our exact strategy breakdown and goals that you can apply yourself, our solutions to their obstacles and challenges that you're probably facing as well. And then above and beyond that, I'm going to show you the exact key changes that shifted their revenue. I'm going to be showing you the results and exactly how you can do it too. So as I said, I'm not going to keep anything behind the covers. I'm going to make this as value-based as possible, and then with the hopes of giving you enough value that hopefully a conversation is worthwhile down the line. But if not, then at least you walk away with a ton of value from this video. So to jump into things, these are the challenges and the situation that they were facing. They couldn't run ads and grow, obviously, as most of us can't in this industry, and they had no effective functional flows in place. They had no campaign sending strategy really, or at least their strategy was really weak. They had an increasingly uninterested and unengaged list. They had low return rates, discount and sale orientated, and above that, they are not getting as much as they could be out of the current situation or audience, and they were also starting to stagnate. Although $50,000 is probably a lot to a lot of hemp companies, if you're in that position, you know that there's a point that you just plateau, and that's what we wanted to counter for them. So our solution and our approach to that was pretty simple. Number one, we immediately built out entirely new flow structures and designs that I'm going to be showing you the exact structure of. I'm going to be showing you the exact segmentation and the targeted sending that we did to increase that as well, to get the most out of their current list. We also went ahead and created a clear and concise sending strategy that is a 60-40 split between educational and sales content. So we wanted to get them away from that sales discount culture. Then we were sending campaigns and flows of education and value, as I mentioned, focus on intentional sending. Then above and beyond that, we increase the spend of their customers, the return of their customers, and the engagement of their audience. So massive changes there that really catapulted their revenue. So just to give you an idea of what that actually looks like, the results in the previous year was $54,000, and now it's $173,000. So if I jump into the back end, you can see that from the period of June 2023 to August 2023, which is the most recent months as of the time of recording this, you can see that they were not doing as well as they could be. So 13,000 in June, 54,000 in July, and then we scaled them up to 173,000 in the last month. And you can see the split there is pretty healthy, with it being about a 40% attribution to flows, but we actually recommend a 30% attribution. So if you're not getting that attribution to flows and campaigns, I would recommend having a look into, where that gap is. And overall, their overall revenue attributed to emails is actually 52% of their overall revenue. So we've really scaled this up to where it's kind of outperforming all of their other efforts, which is pretty surprising. And you can see overall they're making about 360 per month, and we managed to make about 170 of that just from the email marketing. So huge improvements there. And then if we look at the current month, as I said, $173,000 as of August 1st to August 31st. So that's with a very healthy split between campaigns and flows. And I'm going to be showing you the exact structure there and the strategy that we use. So to jump into exactly how we got those results is very simple. Here is the overarching strategy that we use for them when we focus on 3 main pillars. So we focus on flows, campaigns, and segmentation, which is what you really need to double down on. And obviously you should know this if you are implementing email marketing, which you should be at this revenue amount. But overall, in the flows, what we're focusing on is these 5 as the main flows, and then thereafter we focus on these 2 as the more strategic attachments. So this is the post-purchase and the cross-sell and upsell, to make sure that we are increasing that send, and also with the post-purchase, we're nurturing that audience to spend more in the future as well as return. So this kind of covers all of the points, and that's why the flows are so important. And it's surprising how many companies do not have these set up correctly. So what we really focus on is being very intentional with this, to the point that I'm even going to be showing you what our welcome flow looks like, so you can see how we kind of approach it on a basic sense. Then in terms of their campaigns, as you can see, we do a split of where the open rate should be 30%. And the overall campaign strategies that we do informative and then promotional, but even the promotional sales or sales that we do are few and far between. And what we like to rely on is that education. I'm a firm believer, and we've seen it client and client, that when you provide education, the audience does convert as a byproduct of that education. So over here, you can see the kind of strategy that we outlined for them. So this is the exact week by week strategy based on, who we're sending to, what the overall idea is. Are we sending surveys? Are we sending testimonial emails? Are we sending recommendations? So we've really outlined month by month and week by week what the overarching idea is. And when we go into the back end, obviously there are some main elements. You need to optimize your sign-up form. If you're not getting more than a 3% submission rate, then you need to have a relook at that. Should be 3% plus. And what we like to do is we've split tested between offers, and we like to be a little bit bold with our offers depending on the client. But I would recommend offering some kind of sample. The spin the wheel gets really incredible engagement, but at the very least, you should have a 20% or 15% plus sign up code. But at the very least, you guys should kind of experiment a bit more with some unique offers, and then you get a little bit more engagement down the line. So test around with that. We've split tested it and we know what works best. Then apart from that, the audience, we actually go ahead, and this is the other arching idea, is we go ahead and we segment based on multiple facets. So we kind of focus on 4 things: the engaged list, the unengaged list. Then we also focus on categories. So we'll actually create a category for every single segment, or a segment for every category rather, where for example, if we sell flower, we will categorize by flower. If we sell vape, we'll categorize by vape, and likewise we'll categorize by capsules, by tinctures, by topicals. So all of that we obviously put into different segments, and then we can use it as upsell and cross-sell opportunity. Then the other list that we create is purchase once over all time, so we can get an idea of who this list is and try to target them more strategically with different flows, educational flows, etc., etc. So just really, really, really important. And the unengaged list, we try to be very strategic with that, where we try not to send them educational content for the time being. We try to leave a massive gap between the time that they hear from us and don't, and then we obviously set up some win back flows to counteract that. So just a lot of strategy going into it. Then with the campaigns themselves, although I did say that they are more educational, what I want to show you is the overall design that we go with. So as you can see, this is the back end of Clivio, and you can see that the overall design we go with is very simple, and it's a very aesthetically pleasing, but we're trying to cater rather for people that are more text heavy and more visually orientated as well. So we're catering for both audiences. What I see a lot of the time is people neglecting one or the other, and it results in really poor results. So for example, within the first 2 seconds of looking at this, you know what the campaign's about. It's about sleep. You know what the product is regarding this campaign and what will help you with sleep, and we show the product. Then the third thing is what incentive, and if there is an incentive, and then the fourth thing is a call to action immediately. So everything you need to know is immediately within the first second of seeing this campaign. We do this for everything, whether it's educational, whether it's promotional. We immediately have an overarching concept of, for example, it's about sleep. Okay, cool. If it's about sleep, we make it very clear that it's about that. Then we have a soft upsell about the product, where we showcase the product immediately for sleep straight away. Then an incentive, then call to action. Then underneath that is more for the word orientated people, the people that do like the reading, where we give them a little bit more of a breakdown into exactly what the product does for them and how it does it. So you get a a little bit more education from it. And this is the exact split that we like to go for all of our designs. So as you can see, it just follows a very simple concept, and we follow this for every single campaign, and I recommend that you do it as well. If your visual elements are not up to standard, I would recommend that you do that, because I hate the saying that people have a short attention span. Their standards have just gone up. So we don't like to look at things that are not appealing. We also trust people less inadvertently. So what we always do for clients and for companies that are struggling, even on a consulting basis, we make sure that we up their design on the emails, and you would be surprised by how such a nuanced change improves the revenue dramatically. So just a good idea for you. Then in terms of the flows, obviously we have those main flows and we have some more strategic flows, but this is just an idea for you to see the way that we structure our welcome flow. Keep in mind that we have successfully gone through a A/B testing phase for this flow as well. So for example, what we like to do is we like to send out the first email as soon as they sign up to the newsletter. Then we send about 2 to 3 reminders about a sign up code, or just getting them to see some other ideas that we have. So maybe we have another offer somewhere in here where it's like a free gift or a free sample that they can get with by just paying shipping. Then we wait 4 days, and then we kind of do cross-pollination where we send them to social media, or we'll send them to a blog, whatever is more relevant to the brand. And then lastly, we do a bit of a personal touch, so a message from the founder. Especially as companies get bigger, they tend to neglect people. So a common mistake that Bluebird Botanicals, Medterra, and all of those make is they're not personable anymore. So people are going to shift over to a company that has a bigger purpose or communicates their purpose better. So that's where the missing pieces as well. So overall, it's very, very, very simple. All we're doing is, number one, we come up with a really clear strategy with an overarching idea. Number two, we are shifting away from having just a basic strategy. We're making it more targeted to the audience. We're making it more educational. And number three, we're doing and setting up very strategic flows where we split testing. We're setting up very strategic upsells, cross-sells, etc., to increase that the revenue and the return. Then apart from that, we are focusing on more targeted sending, and we're also making sure that the campaigns we are sending out are extremely high in quality. So very basic strategies, but a lot of people neglect this and they think that it's too nuanced to apply to them. But you would be surprised, even if you're doing $50,000 plus or $20,000 plus for that matter, or maybe $100,000 plus, you would be surprised by how much you can scale if you haven't done one of these pieces. And they're such small changes, but they make a big difference. So with that being said, if you found this valuable and you feel like you're either stagnating or you want to scale your revenue, or if you have similar problems, or you, at the very least, you just want solutions and growth, then book in a call with us. It'll be a conversation from one business owner to another where I will personally jump on and find out what your current problems are and if you're a good fit to solve them with a guarantee. At the moment, we're taking on 3 companies that are doing $10,000 plus, and you don't have to pay unless we deliver results. So we'll do 2 things. We'll double your revenue and grow your customer list, or I'll work it for free until we do. That's how confident we are, and that's why we're very picky with who we bring on, because we want to make sure that we can get you the results that we're promising. So with that being said, if that sounds interesting to you, I'm going to leave a link to book a call on the same webpage that you're watching this video on, and then you can go from there. But I look forward to chatting to you and hopefully catch you on the other side. Thanks.